I want to show you preprocessor macros. I have shown you a little bit of the preprocessor prior to this, and I want to expand upon that. Remember, every compilation unit goes through three phases of compilation. The first is the preprocessor, which simply does some textual fix-up to the code file. The next is compilation, and then the third and final stage is the linker. So anyway, the preprocessor has a language in itself that you've seen a little bit before with the pound includes and the pound defines. I'm going to show you another way of doing some macros. In this example here, you see I usually do cout some value and then endline every time I want to print something. And I could make a function with templates so that instead of having to say cout 5 endline, I could say p short for print p5, and then that would print 5 or whatever expression I wish to replace 5 with. But I can also do it with macros. These are something you should shy away from, but they do have their place and their use if you use them correctly. I think it's good to have an arsenal of tools as long as you know the right way and when to use them appropriately. Otherwise, you can definitely... There's a lot in the C++ language that is dangerous, but if you're mature and you can use it correctly, then feel free to do so. It's fine. Anyway. Here's a little bit of an example. Pound define PA. Notice I'm declaring, it looks a little bit like a function, but it's actually a macro. Notice A doesn't have a type out here. I didn't say int or char or anything. I'm just saying, hey, when you see the preprocessor, when you see P parenthesis A, just textually, let's replace it with cout A endline. So literally, before the compiler even sees this compilation unit, the preprocessor says, okay, well, you're invoking the p macro, and your a is going to become a 5. So that means I'm going to take this here, the cout a endline, copy, paste it here, but instead of a, I will replace it with a 5, and that's literally how those macros work. That's it. Nothing more complex than that. So just to show you that both versions work here, I'm going to go back to saying P5 and run it. And we see we get 5 printed from the first cout and 5 printed from the second cout. There's a lot of religious debate as to using macros over functions. One thing is that the macros are in compile time. And so something people or programmers will do to make it deliberate is they'll put their macros in all caps just to make it clear that it is a macro, because macros have slightly different behavior. Well, actually a lot of different behaviors, but I won't go into it right now. Anyway, that's kind of convention. That's kind of the gist, the nutshell. We'll see some more advanced and useful uses of it later. Try to avoid them. If right now when you're brand new to C++ language, lean towards not using them, but later we will definitely see places where they make complete sense.